Hey guys, this is Abhishek, and with this video I am starting a series of Python data visualization. So as you are aware, or you must have seen, that visualization creates a lot of impact. So in the previous videos, when I was explaining you about pandas data analysis using the pandas library, I have shown you how you can use the group by, pivot table, and the other functions which are helpful in creating metrics and doing the analysis of data. But until unless you visualize it, it really can't give you that impact, because human eyes are really used to of looking at the visuals and then taking an impact compared to looking at metrics or the numbers. So with this video, as I mentioned, I'm starting it, and I am using the Matplotlib library, which is a basic library, and the path is this: https://matplotlib.org, and within that the sub library is the pyplot API we will be using to basically plot the basic plots in the initial videos, and then in the future videos we will look at how we can import the data like a normal scenario. You need to get the data from an CSV file or from the database or anywhere else, and then you need to visualize and then slowly move on to the complex visualizations. Alright, so first of all, I am using, as you can see, Jupyter Notebook, which is a part of Anaconda distribution. And if you are also using this, then you will be using the latest edition of Python along with pretty much all the libraries inclusive of Matplotlib or pandas or NumPy and everything. But for some reason, if you don't have this, and you can install the library by using the pip command by following this exclamation pip install and matplotlib. Since it is already installed, so there is no need to do the installation for me. So what I'll do is I'll just import this library, import matplotlib. After pressing the mat, I've just pressed the tab, and I got these options that I have two libraries, math and matplotlib. So I will select the matplotlib and press enter. .pyplot. As you can see, I just wrote the py and pressed tab. It is giving me that it has three libraries: pyplot, pyparsing, and pylab. So what we need is pyplot. So I'll just enter this. So import matplotlib.pyplot as plt. So plt is a common kind of an acronym that used so that we don't have to write this entire name whenever we need to fetch any function, like for example the plot. That's the one we will be using a lot in our videos to explain the different types of plots. So we will just say, hey, plot dot show, for example, or within the plt dot plot, and then providing the parameters. So that's about one thing. So with this library, that's the basic thing right now you need to do to start with it, and press shift enter. And when we press the shift enter, it creates the new line for us. Now let's create the basic plot. So what we can do is we can simply write plt.plot and provide just one list to it. So maybe 1, 2, 3, and 4. That's it. Simply that piece, so that we will get to know what it is basically doing when it is getting these parameters. And if I press shift enter, it doesn't give you the output. Well, because after this you need to write one more function, which is plt.show. If I enter this, now the line is over here, and as you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4 is here on the y-axis. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So based on, so it has done some auto adjustment for writing these tick numbers y-axis, but it has automatically identified the x series or the x-axis values. How? Well, based on the series that it is seeing and its index value. So if you have seen my previous videos, whenever we are creating a series, by default it generates the index. So for this, for value 1, the index will be 0. For value 2, index will be 1. For value 3, index will be 2. And for value 4, index will be 3. So 0, 1, 2, 3. And same is the values over here, 0, 1, 2, 3. So that's a very basic and the default behavior whenever you are passing just the one argument. So let's say, for example, I'll just close this. So let's say, for example, you are passing one series and you are getting this visualization, the line chart, and you are not sure how the hell this Matplotlib is picking up these numbers. So always, keep in mind that these are the index numbers. Okay. All right. The next thing I want to show you is whenever we are writing or whenever we are creating a plot by using the plt.plot, we have to write plt.show again and again. But if you want to avoid that, there is a one argument that you can pass, which is %matplotlib inline. So what it's basically saying that, hey, don't use plt.show again and again, because I have already passed this magic command, the %matplotlib inline, and it dictates that all the charts, all the plots that you are creating will be shown inline irrespective of this plt.show command. So what I'll do is I will just execute this again by pressing shift enter. I will remove this, and now I will press shift enter again, and now as you can see, my line is displayed, and even I don't have the plt.show. So that's the more again useful, and we use it regularly in our examples or whenever we are doing data analysis, because writing additional command, every coder hates that. So we want to always optimize it, and this helps us optimizing the code. Okay, so that's the one thing. Now let's see. I'll just copy this and paste it over here, and I will just pass one more list to it. So 5, 6, 7, 8, maybe in this case, and press the shift enter to see what will happen. Alright, so now if you compare, if I just little bit go down so that you can easily see, now if you compare, the y-axis values are now 5, 6, 7 and 8, and x-axis value is actually 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's starting with 1. Earlier it was 0 because we did not provide any values over there. So 1, 2, 3 and 4. So as you can understand from this, this is the x parameter, x-axis value, and this is the y-axis value. Okay. So this is about the very basics, but if you press within this plot function, if you press shift and 2 times tab, you will get this information about its various parameters. So for example, plot x, y, plot x and y using default line style and color, but it has other parameters. So if you are using that third argument bo within the single quotes, it will plot the x and y using blue circle markers. If you are just saying plot y using x as an index, like I mentioned earlier, if you are not having x value, it will use the x index. Similarly, if you have a plot comma y, the y value and the r plus, so it's basically the red pluses. So that's how you can modify it, but it has a lot of different properties. If you will go down and so for example, if you want to show the line style, so it's basically the style parameter for what type of style you really need. Similarly, character color, so if you want to have a line color, you just specify B, G, R to the color parameter. Similarly, if I go down, I will see a lot of different other properties like line width, for example, label, and all of those things. So let's experiment with a couple of few. Maybe for example, you want line width, and we want to specify line width, let's say 6, and press shift enter. Now you can see the width of the line have been impacted. So maybe if you have multiple lines, and you want to show an impact with the help of the width of the line, you can change their parameter. Okay, similarly I have shown you the color properties, and let's make it R, and now it is R, so you can change the color pretty much quickly. So these are like a few of the properties that you can get. Another, I'll just very quickly show you the line style property, because that's like a most useful one, because sometimes we have multiple lines and one of the line is the solid line like this, and couple of other lines are dashed line with different side types of dashing. Some has lot of space between consecutive dashes, and some are having a different types, less or more. So the parameter name is ls, and it is, I believe, dashed if I'm not wrong. Yeah. So if you see, with this dashed, it has changed to a dashed one. If you want to know more, again press Shift Tab within this function, and if you go down, you will see more like this. So dashed line style, dash dot, solid, dotted. When you specify dotted, this is how you will get. I have just specified the dashed, so I've got this one, as you can see it over here. So you have other ones like triangle down, up. So whatever is feasible to you and useful to you, you can change it and make an impactful line chart. So that's about it, the very basics of the line chart or the basic charts by just providing simple parameters. And I will meet you in the next video with bar chart probably. Yeah.